Hey, what's up? It's Sifu Kuttel, and in this video, we are going to be pairing up the Choy Fut Footwork with the military Dadao. The Dadao means big blade, and this sword became very recognizable because of its inclusion during World War II and even before that during the Sino-Japanese Wars. This is what China was using and pitting them up against the Japanese bayonet charges. And it became a symbol of revolution and repelling the invaders and restoring peace to the country. Now, the techniques that we're going to use in this footwork pattern are a little bit inspired by the 1932 manual from Jin and Zhong. And there are a couple of techniques that are directly inspired from that, although the rest of the techniques, and of course the footwork, come from Choy Fut. Now, if you do not already know the footwork pattern, I highly suggest you go back and check out that video. I will leave a link up above as well as down below in the description, because I'm not going to be covering the steps and how to do them. I'm going to be showing how to use the sword while using these steps, and there is going to be a little bit of a variation in how we get to a couple of stance positions, and that's just because of the sword itself. So, with all of that said, grab your big blade. Let's get to work. We're going to begin with one of the techniques direct from the Jin and Zhong manual, and that's getting into our ready position. So we're already starting off with a deviation from the footwork. The way that the very first technique is standing at attention and getting your sword in the ready position. So we're going to start with the hands at the side and the blade forward. Now from here, I'm going to step with my right foot. And this is going to be more of a stomp when we actually do this. So I'm going to raise, step down, and then extend my left foot forward. Then I'm going to touch the ball of the foot to the ground, cat stance position. Now, if you want to, feel free. You can go low. In the manual, he stands pretty high up, and it's a temporary position. So don't worry about really dropping into this stance. At the same time, I'm going to raise the sword up next to my side, blade edge pointing forward. This is the sword at the ready position. Okay, so from here, I would step and raise. Now, this is getting ready for everything else we're gonna do to attack, to move in. So that's just one of those things I wanted to pay homage to one of the original manuals, as well as included in this. But the one thing that you need to know is, as we get through the footwork pattern, and if you've done these before, I like to have these so that you can continually loop them. So it's something where we will only do it at the beginning, though I'm sure if you're creative enough, you'll find a way to make it happen at the end too. Okay, so again, we'll start from here, ready position, and then we are going to take two steps. So my left foot is actually going to advance, my right foot is going to step, and I'm going to cut diagonal, okay? Not using a horse stance, I'm going to use a bow stance for this one. It allows a little more room to reach. So I'd step, and then I'm cutting from the corner above the shoulder to the corner below the shoulder, okay? Again, one more time, very first move, stand at the ready position, step in, cut. Now we're going to do the second movement that's inspired by the original manual. I have an entire video dedicated to this technique and how it's used because it goes against a little bit of what I feel that the manual is preaching about being very practical. It seems a very intricate style of footwork, and this is the perfect opportunity for us to develop that footwork, okay? So instead of stepping away like we do in the Choy Fut footwork pattern, we're going to instead steal behind and step in. Now, at the same time, our sword is going to dip, turn over, and cut. And it just travels next to the body. So as we step, it just moves along in front of my torso, in front of my face, and then it cuts downward. I don't have to bring it around or anything, okay? So again, we have ready position. We step in and cut. Now from here, drop, step, and cut, okay? The rest of it is going to be just like the Choy Fut footwork pattern, but I had to include this one as well. All right. So again, step, get in the ready position, step, cut, drop, cut. Now from here, another little bit of a fancy move. We're going to block over our head. So As I've cut, I brought my hand down, my head is open. So we want to block above the head. Think of making a little roof here with the blade. And we're gonna get underneath that roof, okay? A little bit of moving it to the other side, so you can think of bringing it up and over the head, but you wanna make sure that it's still at a downward angle, okay? So as we go from our step in, I turn, I unwind my stance, and then as I finish the turn, my blade rotates as well. And then I'm gonna go in for a straight thrust, okay? If I'm facing this way, I step in, cut, bring it up, I block, step under, thrust straight in, okay? Again, facing our original direction, I start, step, cut, hop in, block, turn, thrust. Now we're going to do a stealing step. We're going to move back and then out laterally, okay? At this time, we're going to deflect with the side of the blade. So think of like a backhand slap, like we're going to knock the bayonet down that's charging and thrusting straight at us. We're going to hit it downward. Most likely, you'll deflect and it'll go a little bit sideways. But as long as the pointy end doesn't go into you, you're good, okay? But we want to think of best case scenario when we're doing this to the air. Okay, so from here, I turn it over and I bring it so that the blade is flat. When I step back, I'm going to slash horizontally straight across, okay? So in a more exaggerated motion, I slap, slice, okay? The movement will be a little bit tighter as we do this. So from the thrust, 1, 2, okay? One more time from the very beginning. I have my ready position. I step in, first cut, hop, second cut, block, turn, thrust, stepping back, slap, slice. The tip of the blade is still pointing forward. I don't want to go too far on this one. Now, from here, I'm still quite open, even though the tip of the sword is pointing towards you. So you want to think of the opponent, again, thrusting towards us. We're going to use an umbrella block. Now, umbrella blocks have this nice shape that go around the head. It's this kind of cone shape, right? The tip of the sword is pointing downward, the handle is upward, and we have this cone of protection around us. We're going to use that, but it's not going to, we don't need to travel all the way around to make these cuts happen. It's a deflection. So as soon as we contact the opponent's weapon and block it out of the way, we can turn it right over and cut. So a good way to practice this is to leave the tip in front of you. Think of keeping it in the same position. Raise your hands, and then once it's up, clear, and then bring it around and cut down, same direction. So if I'm blocking over towards my right, I'm going to turn the blade around and cut down towards the right. Block, cut, and then make the movement a little bit tighter. So not so big anymore when we're going around. It's block, cut, block, cut, block, cut. Now the same thing to the other side. So I bring it up, cut. Bring it up towards my left, I cut towards my left. Okay, again, up, cut, up, cut, up, cut. I deflect and cut down. Now let's add this to our footwork, okay? So let's start again from the very beginning. Ready position, step, cut, hop, cut, over, thrust, deflect, slice. Now we're gonna start with our first block. We bring it back up, deflect, step, and cut down, okay? Nice and easy. Again, from this slice, I'm blocking towards my right. I step, I cut down towards my right. If I'm facing towards you, 1, 2, okay? I've made contact here, I deflect to here, and then I cut through where it's open. It's not gonna be exactly the same footwork. We're not gonna step forward with our left foot after this. What we're going to do is block upward towards our left as we shift back to a cat stance and then cut down as we step in again with our right foot. So from our first position, it's a full step forward. Then we shift back, block, and then cut. Okay, so it's a little bit faster for that second one. Again, from here, block, cut, cut, I shift back, and then I cut in. And this puts us back at the very beginning. If you want, you could step back to that ready position. However, this is our very first cut as well, so you can continue through putting everything together. And again, over, block, deflect, slice, umbrella block, cut one, umbrella block, cut two. And then the rest is to add power. Okay, so there you have it. Now, if you want to learn more about this sword, head on over to lkchensword.com. I'll leave a link to this specific sword down below. You can find out a little more history on that, and if you want to dive even deeper, head over to ChineseMartialStudies.com. There's a whole bunch of articles on the Dadao and its history, not only during the Sino-Japanese Wars, World War II, but into the warlord era and even preceding that. It's really fascinating. You should definitely check it out. Otherwise, there's ways to learn these techniques either through the manuals like Jin and Zhang's manual, and or even online programs. And my friend Lauscher Scott M. Rodell has a program in his online program. It's specifically for Dadao and all of the techniques from Jin and Zhang's manual. So be sure to check that out as well. Otherwise, check out the rest of this playlist. I have a whole bunch of different things that you can learn from Kung Fu, from different weapons like double daggers or flute or straight sword or two-section staff or monk spade, just to name a few. Or on the hand side, where you can learn basic Choy Fut strikes, blocks, snake style, crane style, Buddha pump. There's a whole bunch in there, so check the playlist out. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.